Hey everybody, with our GMG review. Today we're taking a look at the Essential series from Corvus Belli that was kindly sent as complimentary review copies and makes up the new starter set selection from CB for Infinity the Game. Now, this was a series that I was kind of waiting for because previous to this, last year, they came up with this, Operation Sandtrap. And sort of the tradition with Corvus Belli over the last, I don't know, decade has been that these boxes, the operation boxes, have been two-player starter sets. They usually contained 7 models, a how-to-play, like step-by-step sort of mission book that was in the theme of the operation itself, templates, dice, tokens, all the stuff you need to play. This has been replaced with a, it's called a battle box now, or a battle pack, a 2-player introductory battle pack. A little bit more advanced, and mostly without printed material. The printed material is all referenced instead online. So without printed material, what you get in here mostly is terrain and miniatures, and you get 2 very cool armies, but it doesn't walk you through the game the way the older box sets does. And I was a bit critical at the time when this box came out of what had been removed from the previous sort of like iteration of these things. Luckily, CB has basically gone and I'd say made an improvement to widen the on-ramp for their game by creating the Essential series. Now, the Essential starter set is this right here, and it is a like low entry cost, so about half the price of the, depending on where you are in the world, Sandtrap box, but with everything you need to demo the game. And I think the goal here, as it was explained to me, was not only is this easier for the consumer, the person buying it, to give the game a try, because playing a full game of Infinity for the first time can be a bit daunting. It's also really easy for a retailer to just open this one box, put it out, and have the game ready to play. So instead of coming, and this game has all the printed material that was kind of missing from the Sandtrap box. It has a quick start rulebook. It has 2 sets of dice. So if you actually have the Sandtrap box, you get a full set of 6 dice for PanOceania and JSA, which is nice. You get the same type of terrain as in the other box. So you're going to get some large generators, some pillars, and a new thing that wasn't in the other one, which is these wall sections. You get data unit cards for showing off the miniatures themselves and the rules for them, so you don't have to be on the app. And that was kind of my criticism of Sandtrap. I just realized that I need to actually open the sticker right here to get this off, which I did not do yet. You get these cardstock unit cards, which replaces the missing sort of like print material from the other box, which I think is, well, essential because what you want is you want to be able to pass what I call the Christmas morning test. And the Christmas morning test is how quickly can I be playing this game out of the box? The printed rulebook right here is the same downloadable quick start guides. It's got a little brief history of the human sphere, how to break down a unit profile, right? So quick start rules, objective and game summary, what you need to play Infinity. You need the following things: a measure tape of at least 48 inches, so 20-sided dice, 6 Infinity models represent the 3 troopers on each side, which you get in this box set. Some scenery, at least 4 big elements and 10 small elements, a 24 by 32 inch gaming mat, which you get in the box set. You get a poster mat, unconscious state and order tokens, and then you play a game. So you're going to get an interesting mix of miniatures in here. One of the things I really liked about this was actually the model selection. You get 2 Fusiliers, and then each side gets a heavy infantry piece. So you get some basic like infantry fighters. You get Keisatsus and Fusiliers, who are these guys. But then you also get a heavy infantry model, an orc troop, and you get a Shikami, who is the more like stealthy version. It's like a big heavy fighter who's more stealthy, and then 2 light infantry to go with it. And by doing that, the original sort of like demo boxes, kind of like light demo boxes that Infinity or Corvus Belli made and gave to retailers were just 3 of these guys, 3 light Fusiliers. And while that was handy for teaching the core principles of the game, moving, shooting, and dodging, including a bigger, heavier hitter with some different sort of like profiles, I think is more in tune with what the experience of Infinity is. Because Infinity is about using your support pieces to support, and using your attack pieces to attack, and using your tech pieces to tech, and like everything's a tool for the right job. I love these unit cards. I know that profiles do tend to change. I would love to see faction packs of these cards. Corvus Belli, do me a solid. As much as I love playing off my phone and Infinity has the best free app on the market, these cards are an incredible high quality, and I'm really hoping they do faction versions of these later on. You could do a single Fusilier one with all the profiles potentially on the back, right? All the weapon profiles on the back, because right now they're just double-sided, and they're in different languages. So this one has Spanish on one side and English on the other. On top of that, you're going to get the basic order of operations for playing the game. So the game sequence, your tactical role, and then of course your order structure for basic short movement skills and short skills, and a list of skills that you can do in the game. This is a great quick reference book because it gets right to the point of what can you do during a turn and how many things can you do? Because in Infinity you can do 2 short actions basically or 1 long action. And here's a list of all the common short actions. So a basic short skill is move, a basic short skill is BS attack. If it has the ARO tag, you can also do it when you see somebody doing something. Because the core mechanic of Infinity is every time a model of mine can see during your activation, one of your models do something, I can do 1 thing instead of 2 to react. So typically the operation of Infinity is I pick a model, I do my first thing with it, the first short skill, anything they can see, it gets to declare its reactions, then I do my second short skill. The idea being that it's always your turn, either acting or reacting during the course of the game. Some basic rules for cover and saving rolls, and that's it. And then some short scenarios and setup and stuff like that for how to play. So everything you need to actually do a demo is basically in this box, and then the last bits of cardboard here are going to be the poster mat, your order tokens for playing the game, and the structures that you can play with. So a wonderful, quick start. And if you combine this with, come on now, I normally have my knife on me, and I'm I keep reaching for it and being don't worry, it'll be fine. But it's in my backpack right now because I was flying to Calgary, and so I don't have a knife on me because you can't take knives on airplanes. So the thing that's normally always in my pocket, I don't have right now. This is embarrassing. All right, so here we go. Get the lousy up so you guys can see it. Yeah, so you can see these are the same pop-together foldable terrain pieces that came in the sand trap box, but then you also get a measuring stick out of the box, so Christmas morning test down there, and all your order tokens for the 6 models that come inside the double. Actually, these are double-sided order tokens. Weird. They also typically double as unconscious tokens in the sand trap set, so that's cool. You could use these actually. So if you wanted to take these and use them with the sand trap tokens, you could write group 2 on one side and then have group 2 tokens as well, which would be very handy. And you get these, which you don't actually get in sand trap, which is little billboards, which I like quite a bit. So what do I think about the Essentials box? Well, we're gonna talk about the other stuff too, but I love that this is a pre-packaged experience, that I don't need anything else. I just need some glue, because you do have to glue these miniatures together. But apart from that, some glue to put these together, everything I need to actually play the game is inside this box. I get all the unit cards, I get all the miniatures. These are some classic miniatures too, like the Fusiliers and the Arc Troop are from a previous release. Same with the Shikami and the Keisatsus are from a previous release. All in multi-part metal. Get your dice, D20s. And the price point is much more of a, oh yeah, I'll give this a go if I think I'm interested in Infinity. Now, what I think makes this really cool from a retailer standpoint is they've added these other 2 essential boxes for if you like one of these armies more than the other. And this is a smart idea for people who are well, I like Sand Trap, but I don't really like either of those armies. With this one, you pick one of the sides, or you pick both if you want to. And then instead of the 7 model sets, which were the old Star sets, you get a 7 model Essentials box to add on to each of these sides if you want. So if you want to just start with the PanOceania side, add that on. The JSA side, this is O-band, you add it to this one, it's the classic JSA. This takes so these 7 models each take you to a 10-man fire team, or 10-man fire team group, basically, is what they call it in Infinity Army building. So there's group 1 and group 2 usually. So you get a full 10-man group. And it's 200 points on the nose for the JSA, especially if you take these Keisatsus as the sweet Thunderbolt one, which are fantastic. You get a Keisatsu missile launcher. You get a 3rd Keisatsu, and they're all different sculpts with a combi rifle, but it could also be a Thunderbolt because no one knows what Thunderbolts look like yet. You get a Keisetsu Hacker, who's a fantastic hacker. You get an Obi-Waban, who's your Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. You get a Daioke, and it's the Daioke with the 2 swords, which means it could be any of the 3 Daioke profiles. You get a Kempite shock marksman rifle with MSV2 with the multi-spectral visor. And you get Kusanagi, you get the Ryukin 09, who's a killer hacker, like infiltrator character. 200 points on the nose. So you go from like, hey, I'm just giving this a shot to, hey, I have an army now. Right? I can play the mid-tier game size for Infinity. Add some big cool piece like a tag and you're at 300 points. It's from there, adding big cool pieces. You have all the essentials for the army. You have all the line troops and a couple of cool hitting pieces. You add like a named character or some big thing and you're at 300 points really fast. For the PanOceania side, it is the vanilla Pano, which means you're going to get a Crux Father Knight, the classic Father Knight Scout, which I was excited to see back actually because I have this guy from the Operation Ice Storm box, which was the one he originally came out in. So they're reusing him as the Crux Father Knight, which means I actually have the right miniature. You get a Teutonic Knight, and again, you get the Teutonic Knight with the sword and the Panzerfaust. So you can be almost any of the profiles. You get a Fusilier hacker, not the best hacker. He will lose a fight to this guy every single time. You get a Locust with, I believe that's the hacker with the breaker rifle, but it could also be the shock marksman rifle one. You get a heavy tank hunting Fuhrerbach orc troop to go with your orc with the multi-rifle, a multi-sniper rifle Fusilier, and then the 3rd Fusilier from Operation Ice Storm. So some really nice sculpts that hold up from the earlier sort of like N3 range of Infinity when they started making these starter sets, and you get to pick the one you like. You don't buy the whole thing. You go, hey, I wanted to give the game a go. I'm going to give it a go. Oh, I like the JSA side better. I grab the JSA side. And what's really nice is if you are a stockist who just wants to give Infinity a try, these 3 boxes are enough for people to give the game a go. Like if you just stock these 3 things, you want to have it in Face Section and do special orders the rest of the time, perfect. Or these 3 in Sandtrap while Sandtrap's still in print. Perfect. You have everything. And there's all the Sandtrap miniatures are unique to these guys too. So like you've got Fennec Fusiliers instead of Fusiliers. You've got all of the Black Air and the Griffin Troop and stuff like that in that box set. Tons more terrain. Those 4 box sets would be a foundation for stocking Infinity that would be super easy to bring in for a retailer. Really easy to understand and self-explanatory if you start with this box set and the battle pack and just link up with everything else really nicely. So yeah, I think this was what was missing when Sandtrap came out that now will be out and will make Infinity I think more accessible to not just like the gaming community in general, but to if you're a retailer and you want to demo it, if you're thinking about giving it a try and you don't even have like friends nearby, it's on a way lower shelf now to give it a proper go. And generally, I think it's just a really well designed product. So I was very happy to see these come out. I love the box size. They're like 8x6. It's like an 8-inch by 6-inch box with a 3-inch depth, so really easy to stock as well. The one thing and this is just the retail sales guy in me, they need to be better bookshelved, right? Like if you don't know what these symbols mean, they're not great. They just need some art. Like the art here should be tilted and put on a side, and then these guys need some art on the side too, so you know what these are, and like maybe the QR code on the side as well, just from a packaging point of view. Other than that, that's just me nitpicking and being like, if they were perfect, they would look like this. I think it's a great job. Good job, CB, for these. I'm excited to give them a go. I have all this painted, so we're going to do a how to play video using the Essentials box set, because I already have all those miniatures and they're all painted up already, so I think we'll just like throw them down and give it a go. So you guys can see the fundamentals of Infinity and just have like a useful video for CB to check out. And then yeah, I think that's it. I think that's where we're gonna go from here, because all of this stuff is already on the table and I can just like throw down. We can even do like a 200-point game between these 2 factions to show what that box would look like. So if you'd like me to do that, tell me in the comments. We'll probably talk a bit more about this in the Infinity podcast that I run with Owen and Dan, Tactical Awareness. And big thanks to CB for sending these along for us to check out. So see you for more GMG reviews. Tabletop Ash. Happy gaming.